Hello, this is old Mr. Kent, and I'm going on a regular old bike ride like I do almost every morning through a little housing development. But to get there, I have to go through a construction zone, and everything in that construction zone is pretty much shut down, except they're still finishing the houses that they have built. And then I was telling my wife that there's a couple of houses where people have actually already moved in. And so I wanted to show her some pictures of that. So that's the purpose. That's the purpose of this video, so she can see the houses where people have already moved in. And I had to stop to turn off my hearing aids, but you'll notice looking down, I've only got 2 bars left on my battery, and so I'm just kind of chancing it, hoping I'll make it back okay. And here comes some folks. I waved at them, and you can see their dog was barking at me if you look really quick. So anyway, there was also some other things I look at as I go along and waved at people like that. And so I thought, well, I'll just put together a little video of all the highlights of what it's like almost every day when I go for just a regular exercise bike ride. And here is a guy doing maintenance on one of their sprayer trucks. And it's early in the morning, as you can see from my shadow. But here in Arizona, if you're going to be in the sun for any long period of time, it gets you all warmed up. And so he's got that umbrella up there to protect himself. And so the Combs Ranch, this used to be a property that was owned by a prominent farmer, and this family still lives in the area, and their last name was Combs. They've even got a school district named after him, and the road that we were on named after him. So this is where their ranch, this was, farmland when we first moved in. And you can see I'm still got two bars after about 1.1 miles. And so we're going to cut through all these roads that are made and supposed to have some houses on them pretty soon. And then we'll get over to where those 2 houses with people living in them are situated. And so there's all kinds of stuff waiting to be finished. That's their materials and so forth. And they've laid all the underground stuff. And there's another guy coming around the corner. And now we're on the street that will lead me straight up to where these houses are. Now the 2-story tan house and the one to the left of it, which looks kind of tan, look kind of gray to me. Anyway, they both have people living in them. The 2-story one, if you look close up there at the top of the screen, their porch light is on. And so that's kind of interesting that the construction guys don't leave the porch light on. And then the tan house over there, they've also got a little sign on the front that says "Do Not Disturb." So anyway, those are the 2 houses that I wanted to show my wife, and so she can now see what I was speaking of when I came. And I go through this almost every day, come down through here where they're building these houses. And there's a little sign that tells people that it's a private residence. Stay out of here and don't bother me. Kind of. All right, so we're going to kind of hurry down here because this is just boring old construction going on both sides of the street. And so we get down here. The only thing is somebody wasn't thinking plain, and you'll notice there's a truck trying to get around where they blocked the road. And I have just enough room without hitting the mirror on the truck. And so I made it by okay. Now we're going through this construction area in order to get to the residential area where I have where I ride a great big loop, and I'll put the map up so you can see what it looks like. But this is the road that my grandson and I used to ride at least once a week to come to his favorite park. So as we come around the corner here, you'll see the park. And then he's older now and 10 years old, and doesn't really want to come play on the kiddie bars like he used to. But he'd come over. He loved coming over here and then play with the kids that were at the park. And there were several times we came over and there were no kids to play with. But anyway, it was a fun time. And then I'll put a link to that. I made a video here where he walked through the kiddie bars and everything, and we were testing out my Air 2S with Active Track. So that was the park that we would come to, and he loved it. Now I'm going to finish riding around the loop, and as I see people running and exercising, I always like to wave at them. And so now I came around enough that I'm going to show you where we used to, when we first started coming to the park, we didn't know there were some shortcuts through the farm fields, and so we came about a mile on the canal road. From where we're looking there is about a mile down is where we live, and then we would ride our bicycles up and along the canal road and come through there to get to the park. So I thought, well, I'll show you where that's located, or show what we look at. So anyway, it was kind of a bumpy ride and wasn't all that easy. So as we looked down there, that in that direction, about a mile down, that's where his folks live, and that's where I live with them, me and my wife, or my wife and I, however you're supposed to say it. So there we go. And then now I'm on my way. I'm at the top of the loop, and I'm on my way home. And so there's a lady walking across the street, and so I waved at her. She waved back, and that's just how I do it almost every day, unless I go on a long bike ride or something. And as I look down, I'm down to one bar. I've gone 6.3 miles and made it okay, and didn't run out of battery, so I had to pedal. So anyway, that was my bike ride, and I hope there was highlights in there that you enjoyed. I want to thank you for watching my videos, and God bless.